March 10th of this year, I arrived in Cartagena, Colombia to prep for a trip for 21 women. 2 days later, the Colombian president declared a state of emergency, and in a moment, I had to cancel the trip. My name is Dr. Kristen Guillory, and I am extremely honored to be sharing with you tonight for this amazing Renaissance dinner. Thank you all so much for supporting such an amazing movement. So on that March 12th, which was 2 days later, I sat on the 15th floor on the rooftop of my hotel asking the Lord, what is it you want me to do? I didn't want to cancel this trip, but I had to. It was the only decision, and it was the best decision. I had to tell the ladies that the trip was canceled. I had to talk to our tour partners to see if we could get some type of refund. I also had to allow myself to feel what I needed to feel. I had no idea of the impact of COVID-19. I had to find a flight to get back home because I was planning to stay in Colombia until March 28th. Thankfully, I got a flight out on March 17th. But when I got home, I just didn't feel right. I didn't feel good. I had some heaviness that was on me, and I allowed myself to feel whatever I needed to feel. And in a way, I had to grieve. I had to grieve that trip. I had to grieve the excitement and experiences I wanted the women to have. I had to grieve other trips I had planned. But after that week of allowing myself to feel what I needed to feel, I started working. I started working on other projects. I also had to cancel another one of my big events due to everything going on. And in the midst of it, I recognized and realized even more that I can be grateful and in pain at the same time. I was grateful for work and shelter and a home and friends and family. And I was in some pain about what was going on, not only in our country, in our world, but also in pain about canceling the trip. But I talked to the Lord and asked the Lord, how can I support during this time? Lord, you've given me some special and specific gifts. What can I do? And he told me two things. You can help speakers to launch their careers even more, and you can help people with self-care, self-protection, and just mental wellness, which is what I've been honored to do. In the midst of supporting so many, I found myself working even more, like sitting in the same spot for 6 hours without moving. Like, wait a minute, I will not become busier during this time. So I have even had to take some of my advice. And so I wonder, can you relate to me in any way? Did you have to cancel some plans that you were excited about? Did you feel some heaviness that was on your shoulders the first week, second week, or even now? Have you been grateful and in pain at the same time? Have you worked even more during this time? So many are grieving. So many have lost loved ones. Know of someone who's lost loved ones, and there's just, you may not feel like you're working at the same productivity level. And if that's the case, that's okay. So with that, we don't know how long we're going to be in this situation, but we are blessed people. And I want to offer you 5 things to consider doing during this time, especially during any time where you feel overwhelmed. And the first thing I would like for you to do is to breathe. We're not breathing enough. So I'm going to invite you to actually literally breathe with me. Let's inhale in for 4. Hold for 2 and exhale for 4. Let's do that again. Inhale through your nose for 4. We'll hold for 2. Exhale through your mouth for 4. Let's do it. Go. I challenge you to pause and breathe. The second is, I want you to remember to please be kind to yourself. Please be kind. You might have had some goals that you wanted to reach by May 1st or April 30th and more, but for whatever reason, you didn't reach that goal. Well, keep in mind, the world has changed in a matter of a short amount of time. So I hope that you are giving yourself grace and you're being kind to yourself. And if you have to push back a goal, that's fine. If you have to pause for a moment, that's fine. If you have to go to counseling and tend to your mental health, do that. But be kind and gentle to yourself. Stop being so hard on you. So remember, the first is to breathe. The second is to be kind to yourself. The third is to remember that it's okay to say no or not now. I wonder if you have found yourself at times working from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. with no breaks during the day. It's okay to say, I'm going to take a break right now. It's okay, if you can, to say, I'm going to call you back. It's okay to say no. So remember to breathe. Remember to breathe. Remember to be kind to yourself. Remember you can say no or not now. I want you to think of three things. This is our fourth item. I want you to think of three things that you can add to your self-care toolkit. In particular, things that just allow you to relax and feel good, whether it's journaling or praying or dancing, as I love to do, coloring, listening to music. What are three things? Jot those down right now. What are three things? For me, I love journaling, dancing, praying, going outside. I want you to write those three things down. And I want you to strive to do one of those three things every day. It may be a different thing. It may be at a different time. But remember that you need to relax. Remember you deserve rest. Remember that you need self-care. Please remember. So remember, number one is to breathe. Number two is to be kind to yourself. Number three is remember that no is a complete sentence. So you can say no or not now. And number four, put three things in your self-care toolkit that you can pull from. You know what? I'm going to wake up and not look at social media in the morning. I'm not going to check email until a certain time. What can be one of your three things? And number five, I believe in the power of gratefulness and gratitude. So number five is I challenge you to replace I have to with I get to. I have to go to work. I get to go to work. Because if you get to go to work, that means you have a job. I have to work from home. I get to work from home. Because if you're working from home, you have a job, you have a home, you have a roof. I have to wash dishes. I get to wash dishes because if you're washing dishes, that means you have hands to wash dishes. That means you have running water. That means you maybe have eaten something. So in the midst of things that seem really overwhelming and are overwhelming right now, please give yourself permission to remember the blessings in your life, the gratefulness things in your life, and remember to replace I have to with I get to. So remember, number one, to breathe. Number two, to be kind to yourself. Be gentle with you. Number three, you can say no or not now. Number four, one of those three items for your self-care toolkit, strive to do one of them every day. Even if it's 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 30 seconds, I'm going to strive to take a moment to breathe. Really breathe every day. And number five, replace I have to with I get to. I am so grateful for this opportunity. I'm so grateful for Pablo and his heart and his vision. I'm so grateful that I get to share in this way with you. Oh, and one more thing. Don't forget, if you're like me and you like to dance a little bit, don't forget, to add a little dancing to your day.